Just okay.
Cool. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going, man?
Not too bad. How you been?
I've been really busy editing the documentary for Mike, the Mike Field's roommates retrospective. I just spent the last 5 hours editing it, and I took a break to watch Crackcoon. How about yourself?
Yeah. I haven't been doing a whole lot, but I watched the same movie, so can go ahead and give our review on it.
Yeah, sure. And I apologize in advance. The other night, I ate a lot of cookies before I went to sleep. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I threw them up because I had eaten so
Oh,
much. And so my voice is a little gone. But we're gonna power through.
yeah. Right.
So this was a so Crackcoon came out in 2024 and it was directed by Brad Twigg. And it stars Rosario Araizo as Finn and Justin P. Martin as Frankie. And you also have Gary Lee Vincent playing the detective Jonathan. What were your first impressions of the movie?
Well, first off, I always try to support these movies. I don't watch none of the Marvel movies and that because when you support that stuff, the studio's never going to give a break to like a good drama or um this is I see this as a comedy. Some people might see it as a horror movie, but horror slash comedy. But nonetheless, I try to keep watching these movies just to support the local artists that are trying to get something going. But I thought it was, even if it's unintentional, there was still a lot of comedy in it. So I don't know if you thought it was more horror or more comedy, but I thought there was like I guess a good balance with it, especially with the budget they had.
Yeah, I didn't catch. Do you know offhand what their budget was?
Okay, so what I found when I was looking it up, they had a Indiegogo campaign,
Okay,
and what I found on it was they had a budget of $18,985.
that's it. That's not
Yeah,
much. Wow.
yeah. So like with our movies, I'm sure they probably had a lot of volunteer actors and things like that.
Yeah,
but but starting off, it is as we know, it's very difficult to make any movie. So even if it's something that I don't like, I still like respect the movie because I know how hard the process is to make it.
sure. And I will say I was very impressed with the camera work, the general quality of that. As I on the flip side, I'll say there wasn't a lot of creativity when it comes to the shot selection. I would say there'd be a lot of scenarios where you saw like a very stationary setup, and then the
Yeah,
characters kind of just go back and forth. And that's something that I learned myself making a movie is that you got to have a little bit more, the camera's got to be moving. It kind of makes what's going the dialogue a little more interesting. So I
yeah,
found myself staring at the characters sometimes, watching them talk, and I'm like, if the camera was moving in, it might, drive this a little better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And I guess if we're talking about things that kind of bother me with the movie now, this is probably small to a lot of people, but it's just a really pet peeve of mine. There was a scene, like a party scene where everyone had the red cups and there was no liquid in it. And I just don't understand why. Okay, I understand you don't want actors drinking, but put some Kool-Aid in it. Put some even water with food coloring or even ice. And I was watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D the other day, and even in that movie had to get millions of dollars, right? They had a scene in there, a party scene. The main characters were sitting like outside, had the red cups, nothing in it again. And I don't know why these directors just overlook that all the time, but it's one of those pet peeves of mine. Put something in the cup. Uh,
Okay, yeah, I didn't notice that myself. I'm gonna go back I would say the raccoon I was really impressed with because I don't know it definitely had some CGI in terms of when he was moving around at times, but
Yeah.
the practical look of the raccoon was really cool looking. I thought he was very what's up uh, sinister uh, and a little scary. There wasn't much suspense I felt, but I definitely liked what they did with the raccoon. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
especially with the budget they had, because with only $18,000, that's not a lot of money to get something realistic. But so for what they had, I thought it was decent for the budget that they had.
I would say, and plus there's a lot of deaths in this movie. So you meet a lot of characters, and they kind of, they tend to meet a brutal demise. Uh, I would, I would wish that the characters that survived had gotten more screen time and more development, so that I could take the time to care about those characters.
Yeah,
Because by the end, I'm just like, all right, that's what's left. I don't even know these guys' names really.
yeah, I see where you're coming from. That point, maybe they could have like reduced the number of people in the film and just extended the scenes longer, so you did have time to like get more feeling for it. So you're affected more during the death instead of like this like mass killing with this raccoon.
Yeah. Some scenes that stick out to me in my mind, and spoiler alert at this rate, towards the end, it starts becoming a little bit more graphic, especially in terms of nudity. So then you've got the whole cunnilingus raccoon scene.
Right, yeah.
Uh, that's pretty brutal. I feel like I've seen that. I can't remember which movie, but with like a ghost. That's happened where you like the
Yeah,
ghost.
there was from one of the scary movies, I think, with what's her name? That was on Beverly Hills 90210.
Uh,
I don't know why she's slipping my mind right now. Um, but there was the same type, same type thing. But you would think, okay, in real life, if you're a woman, I think you could tell if it's a raccoon or a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it would sneak up on you like that so much. But maybe that's just part of the dark comedy of it all.
It was
Yeah,
they definitely took it there. I thought they would leave it there, but then they took it even further. A couple scenes later, they're just like then there's just a long shower scene, and it pays
yeah,
off in a fun way, I guess. I don't know. She goes, "Oh, my tits, my perfect tits, you've ruined
yeah.
them." Uh, what was there any things that stood out to you in terms of characters or
And
locations?
and this is small again. I guess maybe I focus too much on small details, but I think the orange crack could have been more realistic. Now, I never bought crack myself, but you see crack on TV and movies and things like that. To me, it looked like maybe it was just like orange jelly beans or something. I would have picked a different whatever they used for the crack. I would have used something that made it, I guess, more realistic.
Sure, sure. I definitely noticed the writing at times was a little lacking. I thought maybe if someone could have punched this script up just a little bit, it would have made for better comedy. I remember
Yeah.
specifically at one point you got the drug dealers, the two, the two crackheads, for lack of a better term. They meet up with their drug dealer, and I thought they were both fun and interesting. But the guy threatens. He goes, "If this crack doesn't work out well for me, well, we're just not going to come back to you." And I was like, I don't feel like that's something they would, people that are addicted to drugs aren't going to say that. They're going to say anything else other than we're just not going to come back. We're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, I doubt that was the only drug dealer in the town, but maybe it was.
We could be splitting hairs. But what would you think
Yeah.
overall? I mean, you've watched a lot of, low
So
budget films.
overall, again, I thought it was funny, and I guess sometimes the things that are funny to me aren't so much funny to other people. Like even when the raccoon would attack, you could tell someone just was off screen and threw it on him. So that was kind of funny to me. You know
What do
how
they?
the raccoon attacked, and then like you said earlier with the CGI, um, it didn't really. It seemed like the raccoon was like bigger than it would have been in real life. That's kind of funny to me. So, I mean, overall, I thought it was decent for what it was because you got to go know going in, a movie called Crackcoon is not going to be like Gone with the Wind. You're going in there to have like this fun time, not take it serious. So, even with these like minor flaws, I thought it was pretty funny overall.
Would you think it's worth a sequel?
Well, I was thinking of that, and I think this whole thing started with that cocaine bear, and then all these drug animal movies started coming out. So I don't know if this is sequel worthy or not, but I think what you're going to start seeing is you're going to have more animals getting into more drugs.
Do you think
So you could have
animals?
something like meth pelican or something down the line, something crazy down the line like that. But overall, I thought it was, it was what it was. It was funny, I thought. So I don't think it was definitely not the worst movie I ever seen as far as comedy goes.
What is your rule of thumb? What is a movie that you say you in your head is the worst, and you're comparing it to this?
Well,
And you're like,
just the worst thing a movie can be is boring to me. So and I've seen some really bad boring movies where like nothing is moving the plot along. Um, so just having constant action, constant something going on, because the minute you get bored, you're just going to lose the audience, and then it's very hard to get the audience back after they become bored. You know,
yeah, yeah, I hear you. What would you rate this movie out of 10?
out of 10, I would say maybe 6.5.
6.5. Okay.
But as far as like comedy, maybe I would give it a 7.5, because like I said, going into it, you know what it's going to be. So you have different expectations for each movie you see.
Yeah.
So I don't have like a rate, like a blanket rate for every movie. I just sort of look at the category. Okay, what am I expecting going into it? So that's what I would probably give it for this one.
Well, then, to really put a frame of reference for you, do you think Crackcoon is a better movie than the movie we made together, The Social Worker 2023?
No, and everyone watching, you should check out our movie called The Social Worker 2023. It's here on YouTube. We both are in the movie, so I think that gives us credibility to review movies because we've made a bunch of movies ourselves. So if you get a chance, definitely check that out.
Now, my retort to this is because both movies are very different, so it's hard to rate it on that kind of scale. But I like to think The Social Worker is something that you can kind of at least learn something from, and you can
Right. You
maybe,
can walk away with something where this, you simply walk away. I guess the biggest lesson in that one is don't do crack. Even
yeah,
if it's orange, don't do crack. Especially if it's orange, don't do crack.
yeah, and I guess uh, stay away from raccoons on crack as well. That can happen.
Right.
Well, was there anything else you wanted to discuss about the movie? Any other thoughts, closing statements, or whatnot?
I think that's sort of the highlights on it. So to everyone watching, I would check it out if you're just like on a Friday night, you're just looking for a good laugh. Check it out. There's definitely a lot worse movies that you could watch instead. So
I think this was a lot of fun, and I want to keep doing this with you. And I hope
yeah,
that as we find these niche movies, and maybe some of the actors or people that work on the movies, if they ever come across this, I'd love for them to comment and talk about their experience, or we'd love to interview you.
right. Yeah,
It'd be
for
a lot of
sure.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. Right on.
Cool, Jeremy. Well, thanks for your time. Let's keep working and see you for the next movie, huh?
Okay, that sounds good. I'll be ready.
All right. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, man. God
Okay,
bless.
you too. Bye.
All right.